Born at Amherst near Ballarat, Sister Alice Kitchen was 41 when she enlisted with the Australian Army Nursing Service, joining more than 2,000 Australian women who served as nurses in the First World War. She was one of 2 Victorian nurses accompanying the 8th Battalion when they set sail from Port Melbourne in 1914, headed for Egypt. Sister Kitchen began her duty at the newly converted Heliopolis Palace in Cairo, writing of her experiences and of the colourful local life in her diary. Everything changed on April 29, when the first casualties from the Gallipoli landing arrived. She wrote it all down, remarking, "So many have arm and hand injuries, at least among the officers. One poor lad had to have his arm amputated, gangrene, from minor injury to main artery I fancy, and another nasty case. There will be grief and sorrow in many a home, and I'm afraid few of the first AIF will return except as cripples. It is all too dreadful, and every day we hear of someone we know being killed or wounded." Witnessing the terrible level of infections and outbreaks of gangrene among the wounded transported in unhygienic conditions, Sister Alice Kitchen was one of 2 nurses to volunteer to work on the hospital ship Gascon. Each day, barges of wounded, dying and dead men from Gallipoli would sail out to the Gascon and offload their terrible cargo, while both nurses worked up to 18 hours a day in cramped conditions below decks. Of her experience aboard the Gascon, she wrote, "To leave injured soldiers in the blazing sun for days without dressing their wounds or giving them water is mass murder. Our poor boys. If only the world knew how badly they are treated." She spent the rest of the year working on the Gascon as it evacuated casualties from Gallipoli, before being transferred back to Cairo and then to France in 1916. She was moved to the Australian hospital at Rouen, working again in terrible conditions and suffering the substandard accommodation given to nurses, bare unheated tents prone to being flooded in the icy French winter. Upon her return to Australia, she quit nursing, choosing to open a bed and breakfast in Mordialloc, serving veterans of the war. The diaries of Sister Alice Kitchen have been donated to the State Library of Victoria and have become an important record in showing the experiences of Australian nurses in the First World War,